Get to see my pool back here.
Hunter,
What?
I don't know which of those I'm more confused by.
What? Okay, the first one shouldn't be confusing because that's a legitimate caster.
Oh, I didn't know that was a I thought you meant like a literal llama.
No.
You were talking like an animal.
You guys are talking
No,
about
no,
something.
no.
You guys are talking about something that only the three of us can see and not our guests.
True.
Okay, so Blizzard, here, let me fill you in. We have a potential guest ideas channel. And no, keeping in mind, there's nothing helpful in this channel ever. Quite literally, the first ever message was LeBron, Curry, John Cena. And the most recent message that I'm lamenting about here is Hunter typed in llama. Did not specify they were a caster, so I just assumed we were talking about an animal. And then followed it up with Chris Hansen.
Ooh, Chris Hansen was on my campus 2 years ago.
I mean,
was he there for the thing?
For good reasons or bad reasons?
Yes, he was.
Was he there for the thing?
Yes, he was. There's a video. He recorded an episode like about a guy on my campus. Yep. Like 3 years before I got there.
All right. So chat, I have a controversial take, never before seen. It's gonna blow some Overwatch players' minds. What if you respected that the age of consent is 18? What if we did that? Wouldn't that be wild?
Go to Korea.
Dex definitely already hit that record button. Is regretting the decision as we speak.
I know, very controversial take, but what if we did not attempt to date minors? What if we did that? What if we looked at people like Aspire and Dreamcasper and said, that's bad. We shouldn't do that.
Can I mark canceled off my bingo card? Because I think I'm
Yeah.
I mean,
how am I canceled? No, I'm stating the correct opinion here. It's not like I'm saying, yeah, that's a great thing they were doing. Fuck no. I'm saying that listen, the age of consent exists for a reason, and I think we should respect it. And if you don't respect it, then I think you should open your mouth really wide, place it down on a curb, and let somebody from Jersey stomp you out the old-fashioned way.
So, are you talking about age of consent, or are you talking about when you become an adult? Because those are two different ages in a lot of states.
Hunter.
Which is terrifying. All right, what do you want? What do you want me to say?
Terrifying.
Do I have to edit this?
No, you don't. You listen.
No. As the person
don't,
who said it, I'm fully endorsing this.
I'm gonna be honest. This isn't like the other thing. I think this is I think this is correct. All facts have been stated.
Okay, like I'd be okay with it if we were like 30 minutes in, but this is literally within the first 3 goddamn minutes. Here, Blizzard, you want another bingo piece?
Sure.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
We did spend like the early parts of the CP episode thirsting over like
we
Monster
did not.
Girls.
We did not spend. Okay.
We should spend more time. We should actually go back to that.
You know what? You're right.
Part.
I did. You're right. I spent time.
Only the first part. Only the first part we spent thirsting over girls from Monster Prom, and then after that, it was just muscular women.
True.
Yeah, that's where I expect the conversation with CB to go.
Yeah.
That's supposed to mean.
Let's just put it this way. I got 3 clips from that episode. Every clip we were talking.
Only?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
They're all
You could have gotten so many more.
Yeah, I could have gotten so many more. I could have gotten
You could have had a clip. You could have had a clip for every day of the month. We were yapping.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if Echo went back just to find out if or to get the recording of me saying the word. I'm not gonna say them again, but I wonder if she went back and got the recording of what you told her to get.
I don't know if she got it, but I'll ask her because I've literally been playing Baldur's Gate every night with her for a week. Listen, all I'm saying is when her second episode comes up, I have some stories.
Am I getting... Okay, I'm not going to get canceled when her second episode comes up for the 4th time.
No, we're canceling her. This homegirl is an interesting person, I'll put it that way. Outside of the esports scene.
Homegirl has a husband and a kid. Like...
No. Here's what's crazy. Is she she literally, it was her anniversary on Saturday. She actively told me this. I was like, okay, we're not playing Baldur's Gate on Saturday. Makes sense to me. Like, that's what I took it as. Fucking 9 o'clock on the dot. She's like, all right, I'm all done with anniversary stuff. I'm good to play whenever you are. I'm like, bitch, I actually made a meme. Here, hang on. Wait, I have the meme. You can put it on the screen. I know we're completely derailing the start of this episode, but I don't really give a fuck.
I mean, we derail at some point. If we derail at the start, maybe we'll be able to get back on track.
Well, yeah, we have an excuse to get back on track, but literally here, I went and took time out of my day to make this meme. I'm putting it in images for podcast. I'm using the channel. Look at me. Hey, you can put it up on screen.
Moving up in the world. Check this
And
out.
if you've played Baldur's Gate 3, you will understand it. You'll get it.
I don't even play it. I get it.
Quite interesting.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 26th episode of For the Love of Prod.
Let's go.
What a start. What a start to this one here. But as always, we are joined by Huntertain and Megalass, and our guest this week is the one and only MiBlizzard. Man, how are you doing here?
Good. It's great to be here. Really, I really shouldn't say this, but I haven't watched a podcast ever, so I don't know really how this goes.
It's fine. Trust me. After last week and some of the other weeks, like the last 5 weeks, I will admit, we've started to get away a little bit from what the main part of, or at least what I kind of looked at as like the main thing about what the podcast was when it started. But I'm okay with that because it's showing more personality for people who normally don't get the chance to show personality. I am perfectly fine with that.
Of course. So happy to be here. Back on NA schedule. It's pretty rough still.
Yeah. No. Like, grab the pencil. And I will say this: you were probably honestly one of the first people that we wanted to have on, and like I think Hunter and Megan can both like chip in on this. Like, we all kind of said getting you on would be really fun, but there was the whole Korea thing, which I imagine we'll talk about in a little bit. But I didn't know what the time difference was. I didn't know if it was like 12 or 13 hours. So I didn't want you waking up early in the morning to do this podcast.
That was definitely it's a 13-hour time difference to Eastern time. So it did prevent me from doing DreamHack Dallas though. So it was not a fun one.
I would imagine.
Not a fun one indeed.
You did that remote, right?
Remote on 200 ping. Straight from Seoul to Dallas. Let's just say it was not the best time, and surprisingly, actually it was better that I was in Korea.
We'll talk about that later, about why it was better. But before we get into the two main questions we normally ask our guest here, Blizzard, I want to give you the chance to give a little intro to you, but I will say only leave it to what roles people would know you from and what games you have worked on.
Gotcha, perfect. Well, hello, I'm MiBlizzard. I go by MiBlizzard Prods on Twitter, and that's pretty much the only social media I use at this point for that. I am an Overwatch observer and producer. I have delved into Valorant a little, but mainly stay on Overwatch. I've been in the scene since 2020. This is my 5th year doing it. I have worked on some pretty big events such as Overwatch League Pro-Am, Overwatch Contenders, and World Cup Trials, but recently it's been mainly just CGL because Overwatch Esports has kind of destroyed Tier 2 and Tier 3 and Tier 4, and there's only really Tier 1, and they're filled with the best of the best right now, so CGL is pretty much my retirement home at this point, but that's fine, and that's okay, but hey, we keep moving and schmoving, and it's great to be here with all of y'all tonight.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you were definitely one of the first people we wanted to have on, but I respected that I didn't want to wake you up early in the morning, especially because you were still doing school over there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was still in school. Thankfully, only 2 days of school a week. So I had basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. and Monday off, so that was really nice for being in Korea. But it meant I was having 6-hour school days on Tuesday, Wednesdays each day, running 18 credits, I think, at the beginning of the semester, dropping down to 15 after. And now going into this next school year, I'm going to be going to 18 more credits and dual majoring. So I have my work cut out for me.
What are you dual majoring in?
So I'm going to be dual majoring in operation supply chain management. So basically just logistics, and then management information systems, which is basically business IT solutions, working for businesses, making sure their IT is up to snuff, and helping managers and HR and all the corporate people work there with their comp science people, and making sure neither one gets angry at each other for not doing what they want them to do.
I think that last thing's just a myth. They're gonna get angry no matter what.
Yeah, and I have to be in the middle of it, which I'm fine. That'll work.
Dealing with other people's problems is fun.
I'm so used to that.
But Blizz, like I said, we normally ask our guests 2 questions, and then we spiral from there on out for the rest of the time. So the first question is, Blizzard, what got you into esports, and more importantly, what got you into doing esports production?
So what got me into esports was when I joined Ignited.gg back in 2019. Ignited was a kind of small org, and I was playing in God, what was it called? Elo Hell's Get Good tournament. There we go. The Get Good tournament, and I played 1 season on a pickup team, plug team, and we ended up doing pretty well. We didn't like 6-5, made it to LCQ, went through LCQ, lost first round of playoffs. I then joined Ignited and swept the beginner bracket 13-0, losing a single map the entire 12 weeks of playing. Almost got our team banned because Overwatch placed me in Diamond in a gold league. And after that season, we broke the tournament platform, and we broke the beginner series as a whole, and beginner never survived after that season. I am sorry for everyone who wanted to play that next season. But anyways, after that, I wasn't the most friendly to my team because I'm very hyper competitive, so I started moving to the staff role where I managed the X team I was on, along with 2 others, Toast or Nacho Toast, if you've ever seen them in CGL. They were actually one of the co-managers of that team with me. So then after that, I moved to broadcast, and this placed me back in March of 2020, where, of course, COVID had started, the great C word, and I had nothing to do. I was in high school at the time still, as 15, and nothing to do. So I was like, let's broadcast some Overwatch. Got the Broadcast UG client up and ended up broadcasting for volunteer for the first year, and started loving that aspect of esports more than the playing part. After that, did community leagues, got my first paid gig, and then got a message from Okarin, who is Monkey Bubble's CEO at the time. And he brought me on, and ever since then, it was contenders trials, contenders, and so on and so forth, and making my way up the path to pro ever since.
Damn. I mean, like, that's... I mean, I imagine Hunter and Mega will kind of relate to you going from a player to production a little bit more, because I think they did the same thing. They still go back and play. And, like, Mega's playing right now. We talked about with Calling All Heroes. She's on a team. Hunter is currently on a BPL team in playoffs. I'm the only one who's not on a team, but for very good reason. It is because I am bad at the game.
Hey, you better get warmed up soon, buddy.
Hey, I will be bad for people's entertainment, and then they'll understand why I cast. I might understand how shit works. That doesn't mean I know how to do it. But I mean, going from being a player and immediately kind of jumping into prod, and I would say kind of falling in love with it. Like, was it like almost instantly where like you did one prod and you're like, I would rather do this more than play, or was it like kind of going back and forth and just kind of weighing the options a little?
For me, it was a lot of feeling in control of what I could do. I found myself in a situation where wasn't necessarily, because back then there wasn't these multi-people prods. It was you had maybe a caster or two, and then you were observer producer in one. You made your own packages. You controlled everything your own. You never had any presets. Website hosting didn't exist. You were using either the VGG package or PNGs, and I like that level of control. I like that level of creativity was a big one, and I like how much less stress there was and the time commitment, because when you're producing, you're maybe back then I was producing 1 or 2 streams a week and maybe watching scrims to get better in practice. Where when I was on the teams, we were scrimming every day for 6 days straight with an off day on Sunday. And I like the more sporadic and more in control and more like kind of just like I got to do what I want to do personally and be creative with it. So let's do prod. And I kind of just fell in love with that ever since. I got a VOD review from Willow, who was an ex-Owl observer, now works at Riot. And their VOD review taught me so much more about prod, and I just ever since then have been just trying to keep going and going until ever since Contenders shut down, and it's been harder to keep that motivation up, because once you hit that plateau of you've made it to the top, now what? Because there isn't anywhere higher you can go, right? You have OBS Sojourn, you have Bradley, you have Shankmas, you have all the Owl observers, OWCS observers, but there's nowhere to go. There's no forefront. So while I still love to produce and observe, it's hard to continue with that passion at this point when there is no place for me to go next. And that's the hard part about it, but I still love to do it as a hobby. I wish I could do it full time, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, if you could do it full time, you absolutely would. But it's hard in the current ecosystem right now, unless you're going to Valorant or Rocket League or even Marvel Rivals at this point. The esports scene is not good. And I witnessed that in Korea, where it's so much better. But that's primarily, and we can get to this later, and how the esports scene works in other countries than NA, where I'm located and where all of y'all are located. It's hard to keep that passion going, which makes it even better seeing a bunch of people, especially like yourselves, to keep going, keep striving, and keep pushing for these higher things. Faceit's a good example of that, but soon enough, you're gonna hit that point where you feel like you're gonna suffer, but it's keeping going and keeping that passion in you and keeping that intrinsic motivation that's really gonna help you succeed overall. And I think that's what's always kept me going ever since I started coming from the player side.
Yeah, and I mean, we've definitely all touched on this in the past, just like the little things that we all kind of felt like maybe we've given up to keep going on this grind, especially with casting, and even with just playing the game in general. It's very interesting to see sometimes just what the result is, because a lot of times it's maybe nothing, and there will be a lot of, like, there are so many great casters out there that they will work incredibly hard and just won't get the recognition. And like, there is one caster that I've always said, like, hey, this caster's great. I have no idea why they aren't in the tier 2 scene yet. They're on the outside. Everyone is always saying, like, hey, they should be there, they should be there. I won't say their name on the podcast. I might type it in chat. Yeah, I'm gonna type it in chat so you guys know who I'm talking about. That's gonna be really fucking weird for everyone else who's in the server.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree 100%.
And like, they just put out like, they haven't done that much this year, and they put out something where it's like, hey, they're still very much trying, but they're weighing options, which is especially a thing where if you're not at that top, or you're not like just right there, I feel like it becomes super important to like really have that kind of conversation with yourself about, do you keep pushing for this even though you think you you should be getting more, but you're just not.
That was a big factor in me, especially because I started this going into college was when that sort of tipping point was. It was 2023 summer when I did my last contender stream. Actually, if we go back, it was 2 years ago today was my final contender stream. And it's kind of surreal to think about that it was 2 years ago that I had to make that choice. Do I want to pursue esports full time? And do I want to continue with this, or do I want to focus on another path? And I had to make that decision. And at the time I was talking to some people and they were majoring in esports stuff. They were doing everything related to esports. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know if that's the right call because it's such a fragile ecosystem. And when is it going to pop?
Yeah.
And we come into a space where it's been stagnant. I mean, sure, OWCS has come along and Faceit come along, but Faceit, as much as it's good for the overall like player ecosystem, it's all co-streams.
Yeah.
It's reliant on the individual person, like Bullskunk, for example, is a great example where he puts in so much effort, but what reward is he getting out of it? Right? He got to do Faceit playoffs and relegation, correct? Or did he not get one for that?
He did not get through relegation and promotion. That was
that was
left.
That was
Reinforce.
Yeah,
that was Reinforce,
Jake,
and
Kenobi.
Richred.
Yeah, Richred,
playoffs.
Richred, my bad.
But and I think that's even more of a good example is Bullskunk's been putting so much effort, but what has he been getting out of? Right there, and it's not like he's getting paid for it, I don't think. So it's all passion. And passion is great, and you need passion to survive in the esports industry. But if you don't have that passion and you're not making a living off of it, it's hard. It's just straight hard, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which makes it those who keep going even stronger than they should be.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope we get Bullskunk on soon. I hope we have the chance to talk to him. And like we've said a couple times here on the podcast, like he deserves so much credit for what he is doing, because it's not just like, okay, he's doing 3-4 games a week. No, he's trying to do 10 games a week, which is something you don't get from anyone, really. Like me and Hunter did some co-streams. Hunter did, I think, a couple solo. I did a couple solo. You have Ewan, who's a player who was doing some, who did a really good job. Joker would do a couple here and there. There was always a couple people that were doing it. You had Spectrion in EU doing EU stuff. Yep. And it's like, and granted, there's probably so many other people that did it and we just don't know. And I can say for South America, we had William Mundy, we had Senju Corp, who were doing that and making sure that region got shown off. Because like, me and Hunter can attest to this. The South American region is a really fun one, and there is a really like core group of core fan base down there that cares deeply about it, which is really, really fun. But I mean, we can come back to this topic here in a moment. I just want to get to the second part of the question, and you've probably already answered it here and there throughout the last couple minutes. But especially, with you already kind of saying like, hey, you're taking a step back from doing production stuff as maybe a little bit less frequently than what you would in the past. What though kind of does keep you coming back to it? Like, what's the main thing that keeps you coming back to doing esports prod when you do it?
It's definitely the community. It's the feeling of it doesn't feel like everyone's like a coworker. It feels like they're just a friend, and I think that's the big difference. It's a community and not a work group, and that's really what it comes. I'm coming for the love of the game, of course, but there's also just that like I love the people I'm around. It's always great hearing them talk about the Overwatch scene. It's something that I'm truly passionate about, which is why I keep coming back overall. If it was personally just me and I just had to do it, I don't think it would continue this way. For me, collegiate has been ruined personally on a personal level. because of things that I can't really get into as much because I don't want to get in trouble with my school, but things that my school's director has said to me and has done to me as a student there, and has done to other students at my school. Collegiate has kind of been ruined for me in totality. So without collegiate, the only place that I could go is pro, which is not really an option. So the only reason I really can come back is the community itself.
Yeah, and I mean, I think all three of us here will also agree, like, the community and especially the people you work with is a big reason why we keep going back. Like you said, they're not coworkers. A lot of the people that we do these productions with, I feel like the majority of them, all three of us would consider a lot of people we work with regularly as friends. And if we're working with someone that we've worked with one or twice, then hey, we're just building the rapport, and eventually they will be friends as well. It's the people who do prod are so incredibly incredible. Like, let me just put it like that's the simplest way I could put it. They are absolutely incredible at what they do, but they're just incredible human beings, which is one thing I've always said. Like, I've met some of the best people I've met in my life just through doing CGL, Tranquility, BPL, even like the Rocket League stuff I've done with United Rogue and MLE. Like, those are some really, really good people. There might only be a small handful of people that I would say, yeah, I don't like them.
Oh, for sure.
But like Hunter, Mega, I mean, again, we talked about this a lot, and this, I mean, Blizzard Answer is not that far away from what we heard a lot of other people say, but like, the people we work with are truly some of the best people. And I mean, like, especially like Blizzard, you fall in that category as well. You are an incredible person, especially when we got the chance to work with you throughout like all the other leagues I just mentioned. Like, again, there's a core group of people, and a core group of like producers and observers that I would kind of hand pick out. You are in that group because one, you're great at what you do. You show up, and you're just an incredible person. But like Hunter, Mega, like, I mean, kind of chime in on this a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's like I was gonna say, like, Hunter was charging it up, but like, I mean, overall, oh, it might have. Did it? Why would it have died?
I mean,
oh no!
Let's go.
You're staring menacingly at us.
No, it's
There
fine.
we go.
It's fine.
Let's go.
No, I was angry. I was concentrating. That's what it was. Don't break the immersion. But yeah, no, I mean, like, we always hear people talk about like it almost feels like we're beating a horse or whatever the phrase is. But yeah, that one. But
we're beating a horse. We're beating a live horse.
All right, I've decided to actually hate you all. But no, I mean, like, literally, I remember, like, it's literally just like these people are great, right? Like, it's not just, hey, we show up, we work, and it's like, all right, good, we all did a good prod, and we leave, right? Like, people are hanging around in VC after. Fucking person messages me daily. I ignore them half the time, but I get messages from him. I get messages from everybody because it's like, again, we're all here. We're all in the trenches, pretty much struggling by legal definition. But instead of being miserable about our struggling, we're just like, damn, this is crazy, isn't it? And everyone's like, yeah, right. And then we just keep going on our merry way.
Yeah, it could be a scenario where we could see him be like, yeah, our scene is like partially dead from like the neck down, but we get to experience being around so many wonderful casters and production people, and not to mention players as well, especially from me and Mega's standpoint, where we are around them a lot more. We have played with dozens, if not hundreds, of different people on different teams, and we get to experience that and have a different appreciation that people outside of the scene wouldn't fully understand. Because if you were to ask somebody, hey, why do you do all this hours and hours every single week doing this? And you would think, someone might think the answer is money. But we ain't getting no money. We ain't getting no cash flow. We are out here grinding and having a good time with the people we like, being around with the game we love playing, and sometimes hating to an extent. But that's just the give and the take of the situation. But that's the best way I can sum it up in my good old Huntertain mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so fun. I mean, even the players, even the few players that I've interacted with, like the ones that have gone from being just a player to trying out, whether it be casting or observing, like they're incredibly nice. And like I always kind of say, I stay out of like the drama of a lot of the leagues just because I don't want to deal with it, because I know there was definitely drama in Tranquility when that was still going on. CGL always has its fair share of drama. Hello, Zay. Are you on my desk? And I mean BPL has it as well. But I mean, Blizzard. I mean, I think what you said about just getting priorities and kind of taking that step back is a thing that I feel like a lot of us, like I said before, I've asked ourselves, like, is what we're doing really worth it at the end of the day? Will you find that? Will you find anything from it? And like I said, we've talked about it in the past. Like I've definitely talked about it in the past with my parents. Like, hey, I'm trying just to figure out how much longer I'm gonna do this. I think I said like, hey, if I get to be like 30 and I'm just not having fun with it anymore, I'm still doing the same stuff, then yeah, I'll just kind of step back. But until then, I'm just gonna have some fun, grind it out, and see where it goes.
Yeah,
but let's move on here a little bit. Blizzard, we talked about it a little bit already. You went to Korea for
Yes, I did.
You went to Korea.
Play the clip.
I'm not gonna play the clip. That might be
future Dex. Put in the clip.
One, no, I don't fucking like XQC. It might be what
I don't think it was due. It's just a really funny clip.
It might be what the episode's called.
He went to Korea.
But I mean, you went to Korea on, it was what, just abroad semester, or
study abroad.
Yeah. But like you said, you saw the difference there. Like you saw the kind of esports scene difference there between NA and America. And like what was like the biggest thing that kind of you noticed between the two?
In terms of esports scene, I guess there's like two tied things. Is idol culture is big even in the esports scene, which I kind of wasn't expecting, because in North America you'll get like fans of certain players or certain certain people or players, but in Korea you have so many people lined up that like for a single player, and it's kind of cool. And every day in Korea it's a LAN. There are no like offline tournaments in Korea. There's a LAN. It's easily accessible and anyone can go. And I think that's what really was the big difference. Is in NAEU it's offline, or it's online. There's not really that in-person fan base. You can't go out and just go outside the LAN area and go meet the players. In Korea, the players do meet and greets every single day after their match. Heck, somewhere around here, I got one of my tickets signed by Shu with a little note on it. Now he didn't speak English, but it was cool nonetheless. And I think that's the big difference. Is in Korea, there's a lot more of just a tighter community and in-person community that kind of fills the gaps of the online community as a whole. And I think that's the big thing. The cheering, the emotional of the casters always being in person every day helps so much. And it's what we used to have in NA for OWL before COVID and before the center, and before they went all online. And I think that is where the difference is Korea stopped it and then went back, and their esports scene is thriving. And I think the other big thing is, and it's interesting to bring up, is there's a lot more of a mixed gender pool in the Korea esports scene, which is also something I'm not really expecting to, especially compared to NA, where in NA you have a lot of more of people saying esports is a male dominated industry, both player wise and spectator wise. But in Korea, I saw it's 50-50. There was just as many women there as there were men, which is also makes a huge difference because especially in a country like Korea, which has its misogyny issues, which has anti-discrimination issues, for everyone to come together and strive for that one single thing was just such an amazing experience to see. And even though I didn't speak Korean at the time of my first event, I still felt that I was included in everything and that I understand everything that was going on just by the atmosphere alone and not the language, which is kind of what esports should be about. It's the most widely accessible and global sport that there is. So being able to just have that community and not have that language barrier or have any type of barrier to entry, and everyone's there, everyone's accessible. Heck, if you wanted to, you could go to the bathroom and you'd be going right next to a player. It like everyone is on an equal level there. You have idol culture, but everyone's there and everyone's just having a fun time in a community, and there's no superiority to anyone else, which I think is a big thing that NA and EU kind of needs to change in a way.
I could definitely see EU getting a lot closer to how Korea is, especially with the scene in general, just because of how EU is set up, where you a lot of times do see or hear about, one person, like, people take day trips to other countries because it's that easy for them to go between, countries. NA is difficult though, and I mean, and for being 4 people that have grown up in NA, it is difficult to get from one end of the country to the other. Hell, it's even difficult sometimes to get maybe 4 towns away because it's 4 hours or something like that. Like, NA, I don't think will ever necessarily get to the point where Korea is with, like you said, with idol culture and just having constant events like that. I feel like we're always going to kind of be stuck in the online world when it comes to it. I like COVID sucked because I really thought OWL was hitting their stride with the in-person events every weekend. I felt like they learned from year 2 going into year 3, and everything was looking great. And then COVID essentially killed the league. It was, granted, it lived a lot longer than anyone really thought it would, but it really did end up killing the league in the end. But like, just a lot of the time, like you also talked about a little bit there with just how the players really reacted as well. Meeting greets every day. And it's one thing, like, we have stressed multiple, or we not stressed, but definitely have talked about multiple times, especially with players in NA, because we've normally have interviewed them in the past as casters. It's just like, please, dear God, have some idea how to speak, have some media training, which you don't get over here unless you're expected to be like the best team. Then you'll get some. At least when it comes to Overwatch. I don't know how it's like in other games, mostly, but in Overwatch, like you saw it last season in OWCS with Defiant, where they were being very good when it came to interviewing. They weren't saying anything too dumb or too off-brand because they had that training. But then you go down to let's just throw Dilducks in there right now. Granted, a really fun team. A really fun social media, but that's about it. And I imagine some of the players on them, because we definitely interviewed some of the players on them on that team in the past. They've had some just media training, but it's very difficult to have that kind of thing. And based off what you're saying, it sounds like the Korean players, very nice. They love interacting with, well, I won't say love, because a lot of times you never know if it's they truly like it or
yeah,
hey, we're forced to be here. I'm just going to be nice for the time that I'm given, and then I'm going to go home. Yeah. But I'm at, like, when you were in Korea, did you go to any other esport event outside of OWCS? I know you went to other
I
sporting
had to.
events in other countries, because didn't you go? You went to the F1
Yes.
race in Japan, right?
Yep, that's where I got this hat. Yeah, I went to F1 in Japan, but I did do the big
Piastri
three
fan?
in Korea. I didn't hear you, Dex. Your mic didn't go through, but
I said you're a Piastri fan.
I am a Piastri Norris fan.
I mean,
so
I'm
yes.
not gonna blame you. I don't have a dog in F1.
Mhm.
It's
The OP
it's
on the top.
oh nice. It's fun to watch sometimes, but
Yeah,
it's
this hat costs about 2.5 or 1.5 CGL broadcasts. But yes, I did hit the big three. I only went to one league match in Korea, but I went to I think 3 Valorant VCT matches and 1 VCT Challengers match as well. I think I went to a total of 6 OWCS matches, 1 VCT match, or 1 VC Challengers match, 4 VCT matches, and 1 league match. Whilst over there, because kind of esports was kind of the reason I went. So of course I gotta run the esports train while I'm there. And honestly, the vibe was very similar no matter where I went. Overwatch was the only one that did player signings and interviews after. Well, not interviews, but player signings after. VCT didn't. VCT sometimes did. It wasn't as accessible as Overwatch was. VCT would just have a table like you'd see at like DreamHack Stockholm or DreamHack Dallas, where they just have a team there for players. At WDG, which is where they host OWCS, is after a match, the players would just go out into the lobby and like you just line up for a single player and you just go up to that single player and you get something signed with them, you have a conversation, you get a picture, the whole thing. But the vibe was still there. Valorant was definitely, I'd say, overall better than Overwatch for sure. I think Valorant and League were about equal. Now I'm not a League fan. The League broadcast setup with the in stadium lighting effects was so cool. Same with Valorant. Overwatch didn't really have that, which made it subdue. But the Overwatch not having that made it feel like more of a watch party instead of a game you were going to watch, I'd say. And I definitely felt that when I went to the Crazy Raccoons versus Falcons match for China, Hangzhou Grand Finals. Where it was a watch party and it was the same vibe as if the players were playing in front of you versus playing all the way in China, which really set the point of it is more of a community thing there than it is you're going there to watch the players actually play the game.
And that I feel like that's a very nice vibe for what OWCS should be, just in general. Granted, I would love to see it get back to what you were how you're describing League and Valorant, where you're going there to watch a game. But at least I think for the first, I mean, hell, this is the second year of OWCS. It's a good way to have it there.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's talk about a little bit how like you. I imagine there's absolutely zero comparison from how you saw the production there to maybe your own productions you've worked on. Were there any comparisons that you could like easily see?
Well, unfortunately I never got to like see the backstage end of a production there, but overall in like the flow and like the grandeur of things, it definitely felt more of a like fleshed out product that I wish I could prehend. And the production crews on those, even for like, because the WGG show is very simple, right? You have one lighting operator, one like in rooms video operator, you have one stage manager, then you have a boom arm operator, and then an camera operator in there, handheld camera operator. And then if they don't think they show it on the main broadcast, but they have a rolling credits thing after the Korean finals. And I think in total they have 16 observers hired for the entire season and stage. When you look at that like list of people. So their crew is a lot bigger overall. but it seems to be very much a smaller scale compared to what you might think.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those things that CGL could definitely put on what WDG did if they added 3 more people to their fully maxed out broadcast. Which kind of makes it more of that, again, community feel overall, because it doesn't feel too far and intangible, to say the least.
Yeah, and I mean, fuck, where's it gonna go? I lost my train. God damn it.
You got this.
I was gonna say, Hunter and Mega, if you guys want to jump in and add on while I try to figure out what the fuck I was gonna say.
I mean, like overall, in terms of that community, going back to the player thing, there was just kind of this thought in my head of like, and this is obviously just pure speculation. I could be 110% wrong. Maybe players hate this shit or whatever, but like, it just makes it so much more personal in those situations, because it's like, it's not just, oh, they're playing on a screen, but like, sure, you're getting to meet them, but they're getting to meet you, right?
Yep.
Like as players, they're like, oh, I just absolutely bombed that match. Everything sucked. I'm ass. Whatever's going through your mind after a loss. But you come up to a crowd of people who are waiting for you because they want to say hi to you. They want your autograph. And, maybe it doesn't fix the loss, but maybe it can help you feel a little bit better versus NA. Like, there's no connect. Like, the closest connection anybody has with a pro player would be if they're directly related to them, or if you have them in your fantasy and your fantasy's popping off that week, right? Like, there's such an unbelievable level of disconnect, and I've never really thought about it before for the players, but like it makes me so like NA and EU, I really hope can find ways to bridge that gap, because again, it's probably amazing to have it in that same sort of environment, but it's just, again, these players, like at the end of the day, these players are people too. I'm sure as much as some of them come out and they're awful people, I'm sure there's some pretty nice people who would love to have a pat on the back and a moment to be like, holy crap, I did this.
For sure. And I'd say the players definitely seem very engaged as a whole. Dex is showing VCT's setup, and I don't have a photo of like looking to the left, but in these venues there aren't much seating, so you're very close to the players as a whole already. Where like even in like OWCS in like, yeah, so this is the OWCS Korea setup. Yes, those are lawn chairs. It also adds to the community tournament vibe. But you're really honestly close to the players at all times. And I think that's the big part about it as well, is in NA and EU events, the players are so separated. You're never interacting with the players authentically. I remember like when I went to the Toronto Midseason Madness and Stockholm and DreamHack Dallas, you would have the occasional pro player come into your row and like everyone be like shocked and like in awe, like, what are they doing here? They shouldn't be here. Like, very much I wouldn't expect this. Versus Korea, if you have a player come sit next to you, they're like, oh, cool.
Normal.
And then continue watching the match because they're seen as normal people. Now, there is that idol culture, and like a lot of people, especially with Korean culture, you don't really like interacting with other people. It's very reserved and private, and you don't care about other people in a sense. But in the terms of the esports scene in Korea, the players are seen as, yes, idols, but they're also just seen as people as well. And I think that's the different separation, is you can have that personal relationship with the players. You can go have signings and go place and go places with them. Versus NA, it's just so separate. It's not as much of a community, or the players are kind of just put on such a high pedestal where it's intangible at times.
Yeah, and this kind of setup here, like you said, it's perfect for the community like kind of feel, and it's exactly what I would love to see for like an NA playoff LAN if they were ever to do that, which we know they won't. But it doesn't need to be anything big, and like they show camera shots of this room a lot, and it's like, okay, I can tell it's not necessarily the biggest room, and honestly, like I've kind of told myself it's probably just a ballroom that they're playing.
It is. It's in a university.
But I could always tell, like, there's so many people there. Like, it's always like it always looked like it was sold out anytime they showed it.
It's from the ticketing wars. So Korea thankfully does ticketing and they don't allow resales, so you can really see if event sells out or not. For grand finals, it's sold out in 2 seconds. For everything else, you have about a day to get your tickets, and it's sold out by the day of show.
Huh.
So the only time I saw it half empty was for VCT challengers, which is tier 2.
Which, I mean, hell, this setup here is incredible. Like,
that's VCT main stage.
Yeah, like I feel like you could play any shooter on that stage. It's just really nicely put. But let's kind of get away from the differences between Korea and NA now, and let's actually get back to talking a little bit about what you've done in prod here, and especially maybe talk about some of the people you've worked with. Like, when it comes to you doing prod, like, who are some of your favorite people to honestly like work with? Like, you can either put it in, you knew you didn't have to worry about them that much, or you knew that when you were here you're gonna have a good time no matter what.
I think I can't stray away from the OG. I feel bad because I love working with everyone. So just because I don't mention their name doesn't mean I don't like working with them.
It means he
You
hates
hate them raw.
It means you hate them. But yeah, we got it.
But like, I think my favorite people to work with is definitely the OGs like Hippie and Unfeatured and any of the OWCS / the upper level prod people, of course. But when it comes to community, I think definitely, I guess I'll say generalizations here. It's definitely the casters or producers who actually love the game as a whole and are not there for work or like, I guess I'm going to sound like an ass saying this, but I'm a very serious person. So when I'm observing or when I'm producing, I'm not very much in the chatting mood. I don't like to like not chat about the game. I like to being serious. So like, I love it. I love Reachstat and Orange when they're in the call together and they just go chaos. And I love them as people. But when I'm in a prod and I'm sitting here hearing 10 conversations at max volume in my ears, sometimes that gets a little bit of a thing. I don't mind it, but it's definitely the people who like take it more seriously that I like the most. I guess my pet peeve would be casters who come in and say, all right, let's do this, and it's like 5 minutes before a broadcast, they have nothing prepared, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
great. But I'd say definitely Hippie and Featured, basic anyone in CGL almost, anyone I've worked with on Contenders and OD. I really don't think I've had a single person that I've hated working with and that I've refused to work with again. I have a team that I refuse to work with again, but they're disbanded at this point. But it's honestly, I loved everyone that's in the community. I mean, I do have preferences. Like, if Hippie, Unfeatured, or really anyone asks me to come do a broadcast, I'm like, sure, whatever. I will say the EXO stream that I just did the charity EXO stream, which was my first one back from Korea. That was probably the most fun observing and producing I have done, honestly, in the past couple years, just because it was unserious. But at the same time, I was working with Jay, who was the Contenders producer for EU and A. So I think it's definitely just, I love everyone I work with, but there's some preferences in who I would rather work with on a prod versus not. But honestly, I don't get to pick and choose who I work with. So I try to make the best out of any situation I'm given.
Yeah. And no, like I totally agree with you here on a lot of things you just said. Like the first one, you have to love the game to really cast it, and it's why I won't go and cast Valorant. It's why I haven't casted Rivals yet, because one, I don't necessarily play the games a lot, but I just don't love them. They're not my favorite games. Overwatch is a game that I truly love. Rocket League is a game I truly love. I hope Rematch falls into that at some point, but I don't know. But like another like you talked about pet peeves. One of my pet peeves with casters is like, hey, yeah, do you play the game? Do you play it? I had someone, I forget who it was, like, oh yeah, I haven't played the game in like 5 months. I was like, cool, you're my color, great.
Yeah, it's definitely those streams that that are just like that you have, scratching your head, like you have to at least try a little bit. Especially because production and especially Overwatch is such a complicated game to understand. You have to be passionate about it, and it comes back to why do you do this? And honestly, in the Overwatch scene, you're not doing it for money. You're not doing it to progress up the ladder. You're not doing it for anything else besides passion. And if you're not passionate about it, you either have to become passionate about it, or you basically have to come say, it's like, hey, I don't know if I can keep doing this anymore. And you either just continue doing community tournaments and just like casual about it, like, yeah, I'll do it every once in a while and just relax and kind of step back, or you either go full fledged, you're doing a match every week and playing the game and actually trying to make it what you can make out of what the game is as a whole currently.
Yeah, and I mean, I imagine Hunter and Mega would agree on a lot of that stuff there. But like one last thing, you touched on people doing it professional, like bringing professionalism to like when I first started casting, and it's one of the reasons, like, this is a very small thing like I did when I first started casting, that I still do now. It's I wear nice shirts. Like, you don't have to do it. Not everyone has to do it. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, there are these players here that are playing this game. It's going to be streamed. They have practiced it. At least I hope they practice it or think they practice it. So they've spent time to try to look good, to try to win. I'm at least going to try to present myself in a good way or present myself professionally because they are treating it as if it's something professional.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're going... I'll show this one. Sorry about that. So, oh my god, how big is this photo?
Holy shit.
I'm not sending you the bigger ones. These are all screenshots.
Trying to get it centered. Which, I mean, this is the OWCS interview stage, which they never showed the crowd. It's really impressive to see what the crowd is for that one interview.
And that's just the just the interview stage. That's 3 minutes of just in-person interview, and everyone's just watching. Which is a really cool sight to see, because NA, the interviews usually on the stage in front of everyone, sure, but like these are people who are just leaving their seats, who could just stay, because when you buy a ticket for an OWCS match there, you get tickets for the entire day. So if it starts at 5, at like 3, which is the earliest it starts, you can stay until 10. So there's matches all day long. You got to take it for all of them. VCT and League are different. You get one per match. But that's what's kind of cool about it, is these people just get up and they're like, I'm going to go watch the interview live. And they're not going to watch it on the screen behind them or anything, which is really cool. And everyone's like taking pictures, of course, and which is something you get in NA, but I don't think as much of just looking and like admiring players as players, but also as people as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because a lot of times, especially like you talked about meeting, like talked about with players just showing up and sitting in your row at DreamHack, like people are just flabbergasted, starstruck, whatever word you want to use, just say, wow, this player is sitting here. You don't see that often here in NA. One last thing though I want to touch on with Korea, and we talked about this before I started the recording, that we would talk about here a little bit. You actually observed the stadium match that was broadcasted, I believe, during an intermission one of the days for NA OWCS. you did that from Korea. That was happening at DreamHack Dallas. What was that necessarily like to be observing something from halfway around the world?
Yeah, so first thing I had to do is get a visa waiver because I can't work on my visa. Thankfully, I can if I get a waiver from my school and the government, which I was able to get a one-time waiver, so that was fine. Problem was, it was a call time of 3 a.m. because the people working on the broadcast, I think, yeah, it was Unfeatured, Lottie, and Hippie, because that's public information. Because we went on the actual DreamHack website as guests for that. It wasn't like the streamers; it was us, the observers, which was kind of cool. And we were there, and we were just like, "Huh, okay." And Lottie, of course, EU, myself, Korea, Hippie, NA. There's kind of a large, we're worldwide. They did not get a local crew for that.
Worldwide
No.
broadcast happening right here in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. So I went to a PC bong at 3 a.m. because PC bongs are open all night, all day, all night, unless you're 19, because 19's the is when you're adult there.
Wait.
And
A PC what?
PC bong.
Oh, Bon. Okay.
The PC bongs are great. You can order food to your station and everything. Like unlimited drinks, unlimited food. That's super cheap. You could pay like $1. It was like 75 cents an hour to go on the machines. And I literally get there, install Parsec, and I just Parsec into one of the machines at DreamHack Dallas. And I look at the little pig counter at the top left, 200. Okay, let's do this. Thankfully, I didn't have to free cam. That was Lottie on 120 ping, but that was a crazy experience to do. But honestly, after not observing or producing for 3 months at that point, it was so worth it. Like I've always liked producing and observing, and I didn't realize how much I liked it and passionate about it was until I didn't do it for 3 months. And not to go off topic here, but I had a Valorant class. Yes, at a very prestigious at Yonsei, which is a top 3 university in Korea. They had a class based on esports in Korea. And as part of that class, we had Valorant teams, and whoever's Valorant team won got to play against Genji Academy.
Oh.
When we visited Genji. So I got to broadcast those matches, and that was a really cool thing because I was like, I haven't done Valorant in a while. I'm broadcasting, and everything feels good. And I think that's what reignited kind of the passion for broadcast in me again, was that experience at the PC bong, live streaming my matches all over again.
Yeah, wait. I remember you tweeting about this.
You can find. Yep. There I am.
God, that honestly, that place looks really fun. It also just looks incredibly clean.
Yep, that was my Valorant team, and I will tell you, they were spotless. Like the PC bongs, they were very clean, very healthy, and they were where all my friends and I hung out every time. But yeah, that's the PC bong that we hung out with and did everything at every night from like 10 p.m. to like 2 a.m. in Korea. Me and my friends would be at the PC bong playing Valorant all night and stuff. So it was always a fun time. In fact, they're actually playing Valorant right now. So.
Damn, I remember when I was in college and could easily just stay up till 2.
God.
I'm now 27 and I get tired at 8:30.
I'm tired. No.
Hunter, you're also 27.
28.
Fuck. Hey,
I'm glad I can claim the youngest man in prod.
Fucking Christ, you're all old as shit.
I had a long weekend, okay? I'm tired.
Blizzard, you might also be the youngest person we've had on the podcast.
I'm used to that. I started at 15, so I'm well. I've always been the youngest in everything prod related, so we live with it.
Hopefully, there's new blood coming in soon. At least that's how I'm starting to gauge now. Is the scene dying, or is it still kind of living? Do we get new people coming in, even for 1 or 2 events or 1 or 2 weeks? Are there new people trying? The less and less new people I see, the more and more fearful I get.
Yeah, it kind of does feel like that sometimes.
But while I think of another question here, Hunter, Mega, do you guys have any questions you guys would like to ask Blizzard here?
I've got my usual. If you have something, Mega.
You got it.
Because this has just become my question, and this one feels honestly really self-explanatory given the name, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Because everybody has some level of story behind what name they chose, whether it is as simple as, hey, this just sounded cool, so I picked it, or, as we've seen before, a lot of lore and backstory. So what is the lore behind MiBlizzard?
It's quite simple. I was around, I think, 12 at the time. I was making a Minecraft account and was like, I need a username. So I go up to my mom, who's there as I'm on the PC or the laptop in her bedroom, and she's like, how about MiBlizzard? Because it's snowing outside and you live in Michigan. And I'm like, okay. And it has kind of lived with that ever since. So it's too late to change it, so that's just what I live with right now.
I mean, it's never too late to change. I mean,
It's not.
June changed their name here about a year ago at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've only been Huntertain for like 3 or 4 years now.
Granted, I've never changed mine, so
You never had
should not
to.
be making this argument.
You found the perfect name out the gate, and
I
was
didn't
just
find
like,
it.
awesome, great.
I didn't find it.
Right.
My
Right.
brother made this.
Yeah. That's right.
There
Well, see, I was very concerned. I'm very concerned that my brain was going to forget this, but I didn't.
Oh, no.
So, Blizzard,
Oh.
let's talk about how many times you've left an SRT open.
All right. Nope. Bye-bye.
Is it more than 0?
Blizzard is infamous for. I just had to quickly. I was trying to confirm with Hippie.
you fucking DM'd Hippie. You're trying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's just say I'm responsible for Hippie's monthly bill at some point.
Some points.
Yeah. It's. I think we'll see when I refuse to turn off my virtual cam. But it's bad. It's really, really bad. I do it almost every time, and it's not even on purpose, right? It's not like I sit there. It's like, SRT server, you want to stop? No, you keep going. You keep going, little SRT server. No, I literally just like after I prod, I'm either like usually so tired or I'm like talking to people and just forget I was doing a prod and just get up and leave my computer. And it just runs. And I think the longest I've ever had an SRT server on was like 86 hours or something of just constant stream. And it was to Hippies. It was for sure to
3.5
Hippies.
days?
Yep, 3.5 days of SRT server. But yeah, it's bad. I try to work on it. Especially when I know people are gonna yell at me. But yeah, it's
it happens to the best of us. I just think it's funny because it's happened a few times, and I feel like I'm present every time it happens.
Yeah. CGL is definitely the odd contributor. I actually, in fact, after that EXO stream, I went on a trip with to my friends, and I just left my computer on because who cares? I get back, OBS is still running. Thankfully, they turned off the SRT server because they're smart enough. But I get the little disconnected from server message, meaning I didn't disconnect it. Meaning I left that thing on for what would have been at least 4 days.
my god.
I love how you also just threw in the comment of like, hey, they were smart enough to shut down the server on their end as a little bit of a backhand comment to Hippie, just to say like, hey, you could shut it off as well, man.
You could just kick. No, but theirs was a local SRT server, so they turn off their computer or OBS and it just shuts off and it's perfect. It's fine, but Hippie's would be a lot harder to shut down. Hippie can't just go on a website and click the shut off button. He has to go into a PowerShell and then write -R and restart it that way, and hopefully everything fixes itself. But
I can't
yeah,
wait.
the SRT curse.
I can't wait for the day where I think Hippie just moved into a new house and he has a whole room dedicated to his setup. I can't wait for the day where he says, "Yeah, I turned my closet into my PC room. It's just 5 PCs I've put into my closet."
He's just got a server rack in his room.
Server rack in his room. He has 20 monitors.
I remember the days when Hippie was asking me for VMix advice. Now I go to him.
I feel like just with anyone, like, hey, how do I do this? Go to Hippie. He might not have any clue, but he has more of a chance of knowing than I do. Go to Hippie.
He has the ambition to continue using VMix through thick and thin.
Literally his job at this point, I think.
Yeah, Hippie messaged me when we started doing the Face It streams, and the first few, obviously, very experimental, very not good in quality. And I got a message like right after one of those, like, "Hey, what are your settings?" And essentially, oh, these are bad. You need to change this. Gave me like a laundry list of things that I need to switch over to. And guess what? It worked. The quality jumped up dramatically for the next stream. Yep. It was beautiful.
I would have loved if he did that with me, because like the couple times I did it, you want to know what the quality was set at the end of the stream? 648p, baby.
640?
648. 648p.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, that extra 8p makes a big difference, but it was at 60 frames per second. So you were seeing it poorly, but at least it was smooth.
I will say, as a producer, it is very hard for me to watch anyone else's stream without being like, "Oh, they could fix that. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that wasn't the best angle." And I'm like, I sit there like, I shouldn't be judging them because I would make these same mistakes, but it's so hard not to, because it's like, I want that to be fixed. And especially it's when it's like the overlay is like 2 pixels off. And I sit there like, why did I say that? Why did I try to look at that? Why did I notice that? Because now I'm stuck staring at that. And I'm like,
My favorite one is, hey, do you have broadcast margin set? And you go in between different observers like, oh, hey, why is the scoreboard in 3 different places?
No. You know what? Speaking of that, listen, this is my call out to Headrammer. Fuck you. You fucking put CGL in line with everyone else. No one's changing for you. You change for them. Everybody else is on fucking 0.5. You're insistent on 0.7, and you can eat shit. Fuck you.
Do I back up the clip?
Can't wait to get kicked from the CGL server tomorrow.
Honestly, just gonna see a large missing hole in our CGL.
Wow, implying I am fat. Crazy. I'm suing you.
No lies detected.
So far, Mega came into this podcast last night talking about trying to cancel me. I think she's canceled herself twice.
Yeah, I think. Can we count that as a rant?
Are you implying that I'm causing problems?
Do you want me to be honest?
I don't think it's an implication.
Do you want me to be honest?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but what do you know?
Good point. I know nothing. It has been stated several times.
No, you don't talk about not knowing it. Actually, this is a fun story because it was me, and I'm pretty sure it was you, Blizzard. The worst observing job ever. That was me and you, right?
Yes, it was. Spins.
Spins. Listen, it was great. I think I've told this story like not in full, but basically the long story short of it is me and Blizzard, we got paired together because they needed an observer, so that's why I was observing. And Blizzard, he great at observing type shit. Absolutely love Blizzard. This fucker was locked out that day.
I
Like
was not
complete
doing good.
tapped out. I was also tapped out was the problem. But my baseline isn't good, so me being tapped out, it makes it worse. And literally by map 2, as Bullshit just said, we were just spinning. It was just whatever happens at this point. We knew it was cooked. It was actually just Jover.
It was very, very bad. There's not a clip, but I know the broadcast it was because we go back to our DMs and that's the last thing you said to me.
It's not only, but it was a paid broadcast because I remember we talked about like, do we just not bill Headrummer for this?
This is semifinals.
It was semifinals, NAGM semifinals.
No, like,
Oh, but listen, that Midtown might actually be the worst, like, broadcasted footage you've ever seen in your life. Like, it got, like, better slightly after that, but that Midtown, I recall, there was not a single comp. We were not. It was lost. It was over.
It was laughter. It was laughter. That was our comms. It was straight. It was pretty much if you put Reach Chat and Orange into a call together. That's what
you just like broke both of their hands. That way the observing skill is down.
Our comms were just straight loud and just chaotic. It was great. I loved it.
Trying to find the between rounds because I did open it up. I'm trying to find the between rounds to see if I can see anything necessarily like, yeah, they're out of it.
Who is our? There's replays between rounds.
You guys get saved by replays.
Yeah, it was only freaking POV during between the rounds. On Midtown.
Wait.
Take any...
Just the automatic just gonna lock the fuck in here.
Dude, like, I remember this so, like, again, I don't remember anything good I ever do, but this shit was so ass. Like, there's a point they go widow, and no joke, I miss, like, I flick between 3 separate people, and as I flick to them, they die. All in the span of 10 seconds. It's fucking hilarious.
Wait, let's see if we can find it.
It was 0.2. I don't remember anything, but I think it was 0.2 at least. I don't fucking... hey, listen, in case you ever need a observer for your events, don't hire me. Never hire me to observe.
Hire Megalass just in general, for morale.
I was gonna say, I was POV, and I was free cam. I think the reason we only had POV that entire time was because I was literally doing spins during that entire time. I remember distinctly doing spins there.
This is so true because I have what was it, Hippie? I don't remember who the producer was, but I remember I heard the comm of them say, "All right, we're gonna stay on you for a bit. Just live with it." I was just like, "Oh fuck!" It was
definitely Hippie. I remember that for sure.
Oh my god! And of course, it's Hippie, so he doesn't actually say shit, but you could clearly tell in his mind he's just, "What the fuck?
What am I doing here?
What am I doing with life?"
Oh my goodness. Listen, you can comb through that footage all day long. Like I said, it's a masterpiece. Like, you could put that in a masterclass, I swear.
Yeah, it was something.
I love that you guys are just sticking so hard to the widows and only the widows.
Nice
shot. Nice shot.
No, because literally I remember this part as well. I was like, the first half was so fucked. I remember specifically, me and Blizzard were like, "Listen, I'm gonna stick on the widows. I'm gonna get one of these shots. I'm gonna see a widow shot." Like, I was convinced I would finally see one without it, because literally I would flick off of them right before they would get the kill every single time. So I was just determined by any means necessary to be on Widowmaker, and it never happened. It never happened.
The widow death cams.
I always love the quick shot when you can tell the observer's trying to go from player to player, but they don't remember who's who on their either on their stream deck or on their keyboard, and it's like, oh yeah, live player, shot of the ground, live player.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
Oh my god, this stream.
Beautiful.
It was a semifinal. It's perfectly.
Yep, it wasn't grands. It was not grands, so it does not matter as much.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
they
Lemon
did-
for just
no, that's-
absolutely tanking that. Just saying, you know what, I'm accepting my fate here. All right. But I mean, I don't know where to go from that. Would you look at what we're talking about right here as what you would consider to be maybe your worst kind of job at your worst job at fuck, what am I trying to say here? The worst you did at your job, since you would really start to consider yourself being one of like a really, really good observer.
It's not my worst moment. It might be one of my worst broadcasts. But my worst moment was working a
no.
contender stream.
Are you
Contenders brought me so many funny moments and like awful moments. Was when I'm in a call with Blizzard, a Blizzard employee, and like a bunch of the Monkey Bubble people, and it's a solo observer. And I forget to remove my escape key. So I'm over here on my controller, and I go to reach for my keyboard to press F1 to go to the tank, or no, to go to the DPS, and I press escape. And you just get the friggin' menu pop up in the middle of a team fight on a Contenders broadcast. That was my worst memory. There's also a Contenders Trials broadcast that I was producing. The SRTs decided to just give up on my end. And trains happened. Let me see if I can find this clip, because I don't know if you remember Barry from
they go by a different name, or was it just Barry?
Jangwa Barry.
A little, I think.
Let's see here. It was Shoes Money Crew versus Malice.
Hunter, is that where you got the idea for Shoes Production Crew, just from Shoes Money Crew?
Yeah, that was the joke. Did no one get that? Someone
No.
had to have gotten that.
No.
Really?
I'm an idiot, so I wasn't gonna get it.
Someone had to have gotten that. That's the thing of it, man.
Man, I wish I could find it, but here is, I guess, a picture of both Juke and I, who Juke was the observer at this point. Juke was the observer, and yeah, that's the Contenders overlay over trains. Because trains
are very fun.
Trains.
You know. Speaking of trains, you want to know what hasn't happened? BPL absolutely falling into like their 2-month thing of just absolutely loving everything to do with fucking trains.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Solomon's been too busy. Don't worry, the lull will come.
I mean, right now it's just Nock talking about his cat girl in fucking Final Fantasy 14.
Oh God.
Anytime you talk to Knock on Wood now, it's just, yeah, I'm gonna go back and stare at my cat girl.
Look, we are in 2025. We live in the year of horse girls, okay? This is the world we live in. And it's a great world.
How am I a VTuber and I'm being the least cringe here?
What did I do?
Don't understand.
You brought up the cat girls, even though it was Nox cat girl. You still brought it up. We're talking about horse girls. Blizzard, I mean, no offense, you just kind of caught a stray there. You didn't really do anything wrong.
Oh, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. I don't know how I can send this to you. Hold on. I found the train. I found the train.
Found the train. Oh,
All right. Here we go. You won't. Monkey bubble reflash. Let me share with time code.
oh wow.
Because this moment will go down as one of the worst broadcast moments I will have ever done in my life. Done in my life.
I'm gonna share this screen with you guys here. Give me a moment. Turn the sound on so you guys can hear it.
It happens at 57 is when you can go to. 8:57.
8:57.
Oh my god, it was. Yep, it was this broadcast. This broadcast was a 10-hour straight. That's why I think the SRT was dying.
Tree, let's go.
Yeah, this match was it was a good match from what I remember, but full of a lot of soon to be Owl players here.
Yeah, Pascal, I haven't heard that name in a while.
It's really been SMC to be the engaging factor in these fights thus far, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Yeah, I would love to see anything really come out of it. Malice, see what we can find out. Ultimates online shoes with a couple ultimates of their own, but only
man.
be able to get some things
So who's SRT brought this up? Or who's SRT who was playing train?
So what we were doing was at the beginning of the day, because again this was a 10-hour stream, so we've had a transfer of producers and observers. Is there was an issue where the SRT just wasn't getting fully sent through for some reason, and this was back when we were using OBS, and there's a setting in OBS that says return video to start if playback ends. So when we were testing the quality, we were playing train videos. Which just so happened that when the SRT went down, instead of going to a black screen like it normally would, because that setting was automatically ticked, it went to trains.
Fuck it. Hell yeah.
It went to freaking trains, and I was the producer on this. So you just know I was panicked as hell for this.
You saw the screen freeze. You're like, okay, hopefully it'll unfreeze in a second. Goes to black. Fucking trains. I imagine you're sitting there like, what the fuck? Let me share. Let me put the screen back to what the recording's gonna.
Oh my god.
But jeez, man. That's the funny stuff, especially when like stuff breaks in productions. It's always funny to see how people react with it. I think trains might honestly be the best thing that you could have, considering what you always are fearful of people having open on their computer.
Yeah, oh for sure. Especially when it comes to like pre SRT like shenanigans. There's another one out of that wasn't any of our fault, but was a very funny moment in what was it? I think it was Flash Ops, where the Overwatch server just decided to say goodbye, and Infected just went moving across the map.
Yeah.
See if I can.
Yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm gonna move over there.
That was that DC. This was back when the servers were just breaking, because this was on the Overwatch 2 beta client.
Mhm.
So it ended up there was a lot of bugs, let's just say. And let's see here. Was it this one? It was this one. I have the clip, I think. Do I not have this clip? swear it was here. But anyways, it was the funniest moment alive. It's those moments also that just keep me coming back. I'd say. Let's see if I can. Okay, let's see if I can share this one too, because I feel like this is also one of those as a caster that the casters as a caster you want to do so super well. This was Pro-Am West qualifiers, Overwatch League Pro-Am West on the beta version of Overwatch 2, and Infected decided to just
Like a tank.
go moving across the map. Let's just say that.
I got an ad.
Of course, classic Twitch ads.
At least I recognize some of the names here in chat. I mean, there's Rich Rad, there's Mari.
This was more modern. This was
Razor.
2 years ago.
Hey, there's Razor. Congrats to Razor on qualifying again for OWCS.
Hey.
Magic Mate Ball.
You know, Infected, man, I miss that guy. Infected was he followed me through my entirety of Overwatch Path to Pro.
Yeah, I have it muted as well, so you guys, unless we need sound here.
The caster's calls are hilarious once you get to the DC part, so I can tell you when to unmute it. I think the caster calls was kind of the best part of it, I'd say. But let's see here. Yeah, so it's right here. Going into this fight,
to work with, which means
I'm a solo
the way that
observer
they
at this
approach
point.
this fight. Trick Room probably.
This was probably one of my best observings as a whole, but this moment right here sent all seriousness out the window.
They do. I've won a piece of this high ground for themselves. They push forward with the Bastion onto it.
I'm waiting just for the entire map to say, yeah, fuck it, I'm out.
And the first cooldown's gonna be up for Pummy. Jugarera used their second, so now it's Hive on the back foot. Immortality Field down, and Pummy swiftly moves forward. The first round of ultimates as well because
there it is.
Composition first is being used. Wow, we're schmoving. Look at us go. Infected flying through the walls. He could go all the way. You guys can't see it, but he's still going. You can't see it. He's found the next map. It's unreleased.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is that Colosseo?
Wait,
I
they
think it's
finished the
those
map.
moments
It's
right
done.
Oh
there
my god.
that
He did it.
keep me coming back to prod. It's those funny ass moments that are just unexpected, you can't predict, and it's just it's amazing work.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I mean, that's the unpredictability part of everything. Is just also a really fun part with the esports in general. But I feel like we're kind of nearing the end of the podcast here. Hunter, Mega, any more questions you guys feel like you need to ask or want to ask?
I mean, what, Hunter, do you have anything?
I don't know if I have anything in the chamber, quite honestly. I'm
Okay, well then, am I good to move forward, Dex? Am I good to do the thing?
You're good to do Operation the Thing, yes.
Let's go!
So here's the thing. But no, okay, so listen, Blizzard, I gave you very specific instructions.
Yes.
Because you asked if there's anything you needed to know.
Yeah, the only instructions we've ever given is someone for this podcast.
The only instruction ever given, because Blizzard asked, I said, you need to know Blue's Clues. And you said you knew Ball. You said you knew Ball, right?
It's been a couple years, maybe a decade.
All right, so see, the important part here is going to be when I say the name Mr. Salt, you know Mr. Salt, right?
I have a feeling I do.
You got Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper, right? These are OGs.
Yep.
These are El Clasico, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we do this literally every single episode for like, I think 10 episodes now. Like I've had this bit for a minute. I don't know why Dex lets me do it, but it's great.
Episodes.
Over 10 episodes. Listen, it's been here for a minute. It's sticking around. Do not know why I'm allowed to do this, but I don't question it. I love it. So we got Mr. Now, I'm going to tell you a factual statement from the Blue's Clues wiki.
Okay.
And I need your reaction to that information. That's what we're after here, okay?
Right.
the deed to the house where Blue's Clues takes place, the owner of the house is listed as Mr. Salt. What is your reaction to that information?
Speechless.
I do not remember that fact. But not surprising, honestly, to me. I think who else would be the owner? I guess.
Keeping in mind that this is now a human being. 3 human beings that have lived in this house are paying rent to a salt shaker.
Whatever floats the boat, I guess. Like you can't be discriminatory to salt shaker family, okay? Like, hey, if a human wants to pay a salt shaker to live in a house, what's stopping them? That's all I gotta say.
Okay, fair enough.
This is the most tame response we've had to this question in the past month.
Yeah, we had CB
Yeah,
last
honestly.
week talking about eat the rich.
CB was talking about eating the rich. I think
But what happened-
Getster was a little bit out there with his response. Soaf completely destroyed the question. I think Rhino also destroyed the question.
I do question though, what happens if you use Mr. Salt too much? Like, do you just start paying to an empty bottle? And is he Mr. Salt after you've emptied the bottle?
I think he dies.
Yeah, let me
I
look
think
up. Let me look this up.
The salt is kind of
Is-
important to his existence.
Yeah.
Would you
Is
be
Mr.
murdering the
Salt
landlord?
immortal?
That's like infinite salts. Like, is he just made of infinite salt, or like did he run out of salt?
Okay, so I went back and looked. This is now the 11th time we've asked this question. No one's ever talked about, what if we just kill Mr. Salt?
It's like, what happens to the house?
This is why this question is so great. Because listen, nobody's ever thinking of these hard hitting questions like we are, okay?
I'm doing the literal approach. I'm like, what happens? Like,
I mean,
now I kind of want to know. Like, can
what? Mr. Salt at most weighs what? 8 ounces? Fuck it, I could step on him and he dies.
I guess you get put into a moral dilemma at that point. Like, do you like kill Mr. Salt so you don't have to pay rent, or like?
But-
Well, then you would have to kill his family.
Yeah,
You're not
and I think there's a moral dilemma there.
Yeah, there's definitely a
But
moral
they're,
dilemma.
they're
but, like,
spices.
so like, if you can't kill them, like, how do you harm salt? Like, do you just put it in water?
Yeah,
Like-
you drown it.
like, you just dilute the water of Mr. Salt, but then is Mr. Salt now part of the water? So like, there's so many questions now on the salt anatomy of Mr. Salt.
If you eat Mr. Salt, can he somehow take your body over? Can he
I
kill
was gonna
you
say,
from
like-
the inside?
What if like you just like sprinkle some salt on like a steak or something? Like, are you technically cannibalizing Mr. Salt?
Mega, I'm gonna leave you to answer that one.
Where did the salt even come from?
That's
Where did the salt come from?
what?
Where did the salt come from?
We're just stating things, all right? We want to know the answers.
I think we talked about like, does he refill the salt or is it just there?
Y'all wanted a crazy answer.
Hey, you start off as the most like neutral answer we had to this question in at least a month, and then you're like, okay, wait, we're talking about kill the rich. Fuck it, we need to kill the family. We escalated from yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, kill the fucker's family. I don't care.
Make me sound maniacal.
Gotta do what we gotta do out here, okay?
It's a dog eat dog world, and hey, the dog probably eats salt to begin with.
I wonder how much they charge rent for. Was it like New York prices? Because
I mean, hey, the Blue's Clues movie that came out like 3 years ago was based in New York, so I'm assuming it's not New York. It's probably Connecticut or something like that.
hopefully, I mean, it is a nice house, so
I have to give a big shout out to Connecticut.
Shout out Connecticut. Shout out Hartford.
Eh,
Oh
Never
God,
been.
Hartford Motor Speedway. The amount of times my dad took me there when I was young.
Shout out to the baseball team there called the Yard Goats, who have the by far maybe the worst food promotion I've ever seen.
I don't know. Scrandall has taught me that people are really bad at making food at sporting events.
I'm gonna show you guys the worst fucking thing I've seen. For minor league baseball in itself is a really, really fun thing. Do you guys want to see the worst thing?
sure.
You know, you guys go out to a ball game. Off my screen. You guys want a hot dog dipped in goat milk?
A classic.
All right, I'm done. I'll see y'all later.
I mean, you get a quarter pound all beef hot dog with chopped peppers, onions, bacon, and brown mustard in a glass of 100% goat milk.
I gotta be honest, bro. Deuces. I'm not. I'm going places. I'm going. Bye.
All right, Blizzard. Thank you for not also fading away into the abyss. But I feel like this is probably the best point for us to stop this episode here. But you know, as always, thank you to Hunter and Mega. They're gone.
Yep,
Maybe they won't be back. But Blizzard, thank you so much, man, for coming on. Like I said, you were one of the first people that we did talk about trying to get on, but we didn't. Like I said, we knew it was a big time difference, and we didn't necessarily want to be waking you up very early on a Tuesday morning, which that sounded like to be one of the days you actually had classes.
Yeah, that was the day I had class at 9 a.m. So
yeah. Yeah, you want to wake up, spend your first hour and a half of your day doing a podcast, and immediately have to go sit in class? Yeah, no, I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
I'm glad we waited. But hey, man, it was a really fun episode, and everyone, thank you so much for watching or listening. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on Twitter, do whatever the hell it is on Spotify. I don't know if it's follow up, subscribe, but hey, do that. Again, thank you, everyone, and make sure you tune in next week to another episode of For the Love of Prod, where we're back to the old way. I don't know who it's going to be just yet, but you will know when I know. Again, thank you so much, y'all.